order at 7:01. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Sit next to you. That's close enough.
And now I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for our recently departed residents, friends, and neighbors, as well as those suffering around the world. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. We'll now go to the roll call for board members.
Michael Messina,
Present.
Ed Whitman,
Present.
Mary Adler, Carol Butterworth, Charlie Rod.
Present. Okay, and now I would please ask for a motion for the approval of the April 18, 2024 open board meeting minutes. Can I have a first to accept the minutes?
I move to accept the minutes of the April 18th.
Meeting, okay.
I second the minutes.
All right, we have a first, we have a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed state nay. The ayes have it. The motion for the approval of the minutes is passed. That's all official stuff. Okay. I'm going to be sitting for this meeting or my wife will beat me to death. So, and she's right there.
Got my eyes on it.
I'm taking this away. Okay, so, the President's report, and each board member will give a shortened report because today's meeting is different from our usual meetings in that this is an election meeting. Now, that only happens in May, so things are slightly different. So there will be a section where we'll report on a few things that were carried over from the last meeting, and then we're going to turn the meeting over to the election committee, and they will discuss, and there's a formality of how you do business, and things have to be said at the meeting. As an example, did we hit quorum? And for those of you, and I use that word because I have to tell you, before I was on the board, I didn't, quorum, what does that mean? You need a minimum number of people that will vote in order for it to be an official vote. So when you get quorum, that's the requirement. And the quorum is something like 25%, and when you do the math, it's 227, whatever it comes out to be, and we certainly surpass that. But the election committee will give you all the details about that. And then besides quorum, they will discuss the voting. And as it turns out this year, there were 3 positions that were available. Myself, Mary, and Charlie Rock. And there were only 3 people who volunteered to run. So it didn't make it too hard. And there was not a whole lot of write-in votes. Okay, no, none of that. Okay, so we'll start off with my report. Today's meeting is different, I mentioned that. And the election committee will take over the second half of tonight. That being said, we have an abbreviated business portion today. That also means that there will be no question and answer session tonight. But as is also usual, individual board members will be available to chat on a limited basis as needed after the meeting is officially closed. So if you have something that's a burning issue and we're not doing the Q&A, seek out one of the board members to voice your concern. There will be 2 motions for approval by the board tonight. And they don't cost any money. So that's a good thing. So I'm going to offer an explanation for the first motion up front, and then we're going to have a motion to accept it. And once I read it, you'll kind of understand. Every year, Lake Ridge undergoes an audit of finances by an independent company. That's what we do. That company is Wilkin, Gutton, Plan, CPAs, and Advisors. Sounds pretty official. We've been using them for years. Once again, the audit was extremely positive, thanks to the diligent work of our finance committee. I'd like to thank everyone who serves on that committee. The board will now memorialize the acceptance of the audit results through a motion. So all this was just that we memorialize it. So, may I please have a motion to accept the external audit results as I have just discussed?
I make a motion that we accept the external audit as reported.
Okay, and may I have a second?
I second the motion to approve the 2023 association audit.
Okay, so all those board members in favor to accept the audit, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed state nay.
Nay.
No, Mary, you can't,
I know, I
you can't
said-
vote twice.
Okay, I won't.
The ayes have it and the motion is passed. The second motion to be memorialized by the board tonight deals with a resolution. Here's another new word. A resolution is something that the board can vote on that we pass off to the county to memorialize something. So we're learning something new every time we get up here, right? So a resolution is a formal documentation that is voted on by members of the board that is registered with the township. Ray will now provide an explanation as to the particulars of this resolution, right?
Well, this resolution is for the Lake Ridge Homeowners Association policy resolution pertaining to the limited exemption from membership fee. Whereas amended by the bylaws, Article 4, Section 1, provides that the property, affairs, and business of the association shall be managed by the board, which shall have all the powers granted to it by the Articles of Incorporation, the Declaration, these amended bylaws, and by law. And whereas the amended bylaws, Article 12, provides each owner upon acquisition of title to his lot must pay to the association a non-refundable fee for membership in the association in the amount of $1,900, which fee may be used for the association's operating expenses, capital reserves, or any other lawful purpose. Such fee shall be a condition precedent to the membership in the association. Whereas the board has determined that it is in the best interest of the association to establish a policy providing for the waiver of the membership fee required upon acquisition of title to a lot in cases in which a member sells a lot within the association and concurrently purchase another in recognition of the fact that the member is not obtaining the new membership, and the membership set forth in the amended bylaws, Article 12, the membership fee in the amount of which may be duly amended from time to time shall apply to all acquisitions of title to a lot within the association except as set forth herein. Owners shall not be required to pay the membership fee in the event that the owner sells a lot within the association and purchases another lot within the association concurrently, subject to the following. This exemption shall apply only to the owners who sell a lot within the association and purchase another lot within the association within fewer than 30 days. If 30 days or more elapse between the sale of a lot and the purchase of another lot, this exemption shall not apply and the owner shall be obligated to pay the full amount of the membership fee. Any owner seeking to utilize the exemption set forth herein shall submit a request for approval to the association. The association may request additional information or evidence as may be required to verify the information contained in the request. The board shall have the discretion to grant or deny any request for exemption based on information presented herein. Any owner who does not submit this request to the association, or any owner whose request is denied pursuant to Section 1, Paragraph 2 above, shall be required to pay the full amount of the membership fee. Any owner who purchases a lot within the association but does not concurrently sell the owner's current lot shall not be eligible for the exemption set forth herein. If an owner acquires title to more than one lot within the association, that owner will be liable for the membership fee upon acquisition of the title to a distinct lot.
How about the law? Okay, so resolutions for an approval basis, have to be done individualized. Again, something we're learning, these are the laws. And Ray will now call upon each board member to see if they're in support of the resolution.
To be duly adopted in the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Lake Ridge Homeowners Association held this 16th day of May 2024. Michael Messina, do you vote yes, no, or abstain?
Yes.
Ed Whitman, do you
Yes.
vote yes, no, or abstain?
Yes.
Mary Adler, yes, no, or abstain?
Yes.
Carol Butterworth, yes, no, or abstain?
Yes.
Charles Roth, yes, no, or abstain?
Yes.
Resolution is unanimously passed. It will be notarized and sent to the attorney for certification by county.
Okay, that was a lot. Okay, continuing on, those are the two kind of motions. Didn't cost any money again. Now, I'm just gonna give a report out on some things that were mentioned at the last open board meeting, and that have been happening. As an example, as mentioned at the last open board meeting, the drainage issues that helped cause some of our problems in regard to the cladding project have been addressed all around our clubhouse. It's completed. So all the water that was coming back towards the building has been rerouted away from the building. Novel idea, okay? But that has been accomplished. In addition, at the last meeting, it was mentioned that the board was going to approve a minimalistic reduction in the front flower beds and the shrubbery. And if you look out there, a lot of people don't notice, there was nothing out there, and now there's a little bush every so often across the whole front. I think they were 3-gallon ones or whatever. But, and the one comes up red, green, and yellow to make it look pretty, and they're small, and you know, they will grow into it. But instead of spending thousands of dollars with larger shrubbery, we went for this look. And if you go out there, next time it's sunny, take a look, see, it looks pretty decent. So the drainage has been accomplished, and we also planted new bushes. This is the perfect time because it's so rainy, the bushes will take. In addition to that, the front flower beds are going to be reduced in size. We had them that they went out, and we had 2 rows of bushes. Consequently, we had a whole lot of mulch that went in there. So we're reducing the size of flower beds, and we're going to add sod to make them shorter. And sod is $1.75 per square foot, as opposed to putting mulch every other year. So this is another cost savings. So we're trying to finish off this building. We did all the amazing work that had to be done because of the damage, and now we're going back and prettying up the front. And I think when everything is said and done, it'll be nice. Okay, the second thing that I normally report, I'm gonna call upon, where's Ed? There's Ed. Ed, come on, you wanna come up? We normally do a report out on the pool, and I'm gonna give Ed a few minutes to discuss what the pool committee has been working on as well. And before I forget, I'm gonna say to you before Ed gets there, I wanna thank the pool committee for all the hard work they've done, and I'm looking forward to an extremely great season like we had last year. Ed, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I'd like to congratulate the board for the re-election. I think you guys are doing a super job, and you deserve to be re-elected. I would also like to thank everyone who volunteered for the pool committee. The pool committee is a very important job, and we need a lot of people. Basically, we've taken a lot of work away from the pool company, and we take it on ourselves, and I'm really proud of this, people stepping forward last year. So we did meet a couple times, and we did make changes according to your recommendations. And I would really appreciate if anybody has any questions or recommendations, please put a concern sheet in. We review them daily, and the pool committee will review them, and we will act accordingly. We are not perfect. We do look for changes. So this year we did make a couple changes at the request of those concern sheets. people were asking to extend the hours at a pool. There are a number of people who work in our community, they don't get home till late. So the indoor pool, we are now keeping open till 9 p.m. at night. We're giving you an extra hour swim. The outdoor pool, we couldn't extend the hours because we don't have the floodlights out there. So for safety reasons, we opened it an hour earlier. So we'll open at 9 a.m. and be open till 8 p.m. But you come in the indoor pool for the extra hour. So we did that. We kept the family swim time. On weekends, it will be 12 to 3, and on weekends, it's 12 to 4, and on during the week, it's 12 to 3. We kept that, no change whatsoever. The lifeguard hasn't changed. They're here from 12 to 4. If there is no lifeguard, we do rely on buddy swim. Another change we made, we are now allowing guests over 19 years old to swim with a resident on the buddy system anytime the pool is open. There are a number of people in here that have significant others and things like that, so we're giving them the opportunity to use the pool. We don't want to throw them out anymore, okay? But I do recommend that we use the concern sheets. Your indoor pool will have no lifeguards as usual unless there is inclement weather. Other than that, it will just be resident swim and buddy over 19, okay? It's about all the changes we made right now. There are some new chairs going in. We got a couple requests for different options that are still being reviewed. But I really appreciate if you can use the concern sheets, because we will try to, obligate you. Okay?
All right. So one thing I wanted to add is, the things that we try new, I call them pilots, pilot programs. If they work out, fine. If they don't, they can be re-reviewed. So nothing is in stone. But we're going to try to do something a little bit different because of the concern sheets that were put in and residents' requests. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, so now we're going to go from one end to another end. Ed Whitman, you have the floor for your report.
Okay, as liaison from the board to the grounds committee, I would just like to make two reports. The board is considering the placement of several additional benches around the walkways of the community to facilitate rest periods for people who are walking and would like a little more convenient rests in between. So we're considering the purchase of 5 additional benches that would be placed about equidistant between existing benches. The existing benches are about over 300 yards apart. So this would shorten the distance you'd have to walk before you can take a little sit down and rest. The idea of memorializing people with little plaques on the bench, the present best runner for that idea is that the 5 services of the armed forces, the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, and Coast Guard, be memorialized on the 5 benches we're considering. But as with all things, budget becomes a factor in this. And we have a number of things that we have to find money for over the next year. And so while this is a praiseworthy idea, it has to be balanced against many other praiseworthy and necessary ideas. So the benches are being considered. We are pushing for it, but we will see how the budget allows. Similarly, it has been suggested that the grounds committee prepare a list of unsightly dead trees. Up until now, we have used the criterion of danger. If a tree on the common poses a danger of falling on someone's house, then that's sufficient reason to remove the tree, obviously. But that doesn't necessarily apply to trees on the common, which are simply ugly and viewable from the roadways. So we've considered the idea of perhaps taking some of the money from the tree fund and using it to remove trees that are unsightly and visible from the roads. But again, we have a variety of things. One of the things that came up was the air conditioners just recently. we had to spend a lot of money on repairing air conditioners. So among all the things for which we need to spend money, these are two things that the grounds committee has urged the board to look at, and the board has taken under consideration, but we will have to hold our fire until such time as the budget is finalized and worked out, and see how that works. So that's my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ed. We're now gonna hear a report from Mary.
Okay. The Lakeridge Homeowner Finance and Audit Committee has reviewed in detail the year ending 2023 audit of the financial position of the Lakeridge Homeowners Association prepared by Wilkins and Guttenland. The audit showed that Lakeridge continues to remain a very strong financial position. There were several changes in the gain and loss on investments and broker fees. While not impacting the overall total, provide a more accurate financial picture of Lakeridge. These changes were recommended by the Finance Committee and agreed upon to be tried by the auditors. Also, the board should understand that the board understands that the auditors feel the need to include items concerning cyber security and FDIC deposit limits in their audit as a reminder and a warning to current and future board members, and need to keep these items on their radar constantly. As a result of our review, the FAC unanimously recommends the Board of Directors approve the excellent audit findings.
That's it.
Okay, so that was the,
Oh, I do have a copy, if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah.
Of the
so
audit.
copies of the audit are available on request. But obviously not gonna print 926 of them, it's a very multi-page document. Okay, so now we're going to, thank you for your report, Mary. Carol?
Okay. Since it's the annual meeting, a year ago, I was elected to a 2-year term. And in the past year, I attended 2 meetings of the New Jersey chapter of the National Community Associations Institute, one in October and one in March, regarding the work of HOAs. Obvious to me was that Lake Ridge has been in good shape over the years, especially in the financial area. As board liaison for the Documents and Policy Committee, that committee has updated the bylaws this year, which hadn't been done since 2007. Currently, the documents are with our new lawyers, and upon receipt, a town hall will be called, and homeowners will be able to vote on some changes in the restrictive and protective documents. That's it, short and to the point. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. Carol and Charlie?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. The gym committee has let me know that they had some requests, we had some requests for a installation of a preacher bench in the gym, and that has been tabled till the fall, along with the air purifying HEPA filter systems. We'll look at that again in the fall. The gym committee doesn't meet again now until September. But David Leshner has let me know that he had done some more research and he had reached out to Ocean Fitness, who installs the equipment, and Vector Machine Company, who manufactures them. And there was a sign, for any of you who use the gym, there was a sign on one of the machines. We were using it as a pull-up, a chin-up bar for a while. And it, early on it was determined that it was not to be used as that. Well, whoever had gotten that information got it wrong from these manufacturers, and they had let us know that that bar across the one machine in the corner can be used as a pull-up bar. So we removed the sign, and for any of you ladies or guys that like to do some pull-ups, have at it. The ARC committee, the applications are increasing. Makes sense. This is the time of year that everybody wants to get involved with doing any kind of projects at their homes.
The homeowners in violation of standards are being informed and fines have been issued where warranted. The home sale committee, some of the forms have been finalized and are in use. Other forms, like the guidelines for open houses, are still being tweaked and revised for legal approval and should be activated very soon. That's about it from me.
Okay, well, thank you. We're gonna be closing the business portion of the meeting, so I am looking for a motion to close the business portion of the meeting. Can I have a motion?
I move to close the business portion of the meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of closing the business portion of the meeting, state aye.
Hi.
Opposed, please state nay. The ayes have it. The business portion of this open board meeting is now closed, and